What's up guys, and welcome to a top 10 video, or a top 8 video actually, and today I'm going over my top 10 Alola Forms. So, first up we have my least favourite Alola form is actually Alola Execute, because it looks really weird. I do like the backstory behind it with the long neck and such. It is pretty funky in that sense, but it is still pretty weird. It's too long a neck. It just seems weird. And why is it part dragon type? I don't know. So it's my top 8. It's my 8th favourite. So that's saying something. But it's not my favourite. So that's Alola Executor. Just a bit too weird in my opinion. Why is it a dragon type? Why has it got Frisk as its ability? It just makes no sense to me. And what the heck is that egg doing on the end of its tail? Yes, okay, it fell off its head, but why did it get on its tail? I don't know. Anyway, then my number 7 favourite Alola form is going to be Sandshrew. Sandshrew, I really do like the design for this Alola form. It's really cool. Obviously based on an Igloo combined with obviously Sandshrew in general being an ice steel type. I'm not sure it should really be a part steel type though, because yes, okay, Sand Slash, fine, make it an ice steel type, but Sandshrew, why is it part steel type? Yes, okay, it's based on an Igloo, cool, but it doesn't have any spikes or claws or anything, you know? Why is it a part steel? Make it pure ice and then have it gain the steel type on evolution to Alolan Sandslash. I don't know why, but it is pretty funky based on the Igloo patterning on its back, sort of like packed ice. It really does make a lot of sense there, and the fact that it's slower and, you know, bulkier basically, I do quite like that. But I would prefer it not to have part steel typing, but that's just me. So Sandshrew is my number 7 Alola form. Then moving up next, we actually have Ninetales. Now I know a lot of you would probably have it higher on the list here, but I don't know. it's a bit weird. There's not much to this design here. There's, you know, I would prefer the ends of the tails to maybe be like a, you know, a really bright blue, or, you know, something different about it. You know, it's really just taken Ninetales, given it some wavy hair and made it white. I don't know, I just don't like it as much. I feel like it has to have something extra to its design. I can't put my finger exactly on what, but just something extra. Also the fairy typing adding on, yes, okay, maybe it's worked pretty well. I just don't see where that's coming from. The ice type completely makes sense thanks to its backstory, but the fairy type just comes out of nowhere. It seems like they just wanted to give it a type to give it a type. So I don't know. That's my Ninetales is my number 6. I can't really get it any higher than that. Then my number 5 favourite Alolan form is actually Meowth. I do quite like the Meowth design. You know, it's very similar to the normal Meowth design. It's my only sort of thing I'm a bit off about, but then again it doesn't need to be too different because it sort of fits the idea. You can see it's a very proud, it's a very regal Pokemon being raised again, basically selective breeding from the Alolan royal family, because they want the proud Meowths basically, hence why it's all very fancy with its paws up in the air and its whiskers turned up, and as well as its head whiskers, I guess you can call them. I would prefer to see the coin a different colour though. Maybe have the coin be like a blue colour, like a diamond, you know, because obviously it's the royal family. Yes, okay, they wear gold crowns, and then the coin is gold, but it would work pretty well either way. But that's Meowth. It's my number 5. Moving then on, we have number 4. The other half of that Sandshrew line, Sandslash in its Alola form. I do quite like it. I like it more than Sandshrew because I really just like the ice spikes on its back. You know, they look really cool. Obviously, changing normal Sandslash's spikes to ice spikes makes a lot of sense. And its huge claws, the way they sort of come out of its hands, I guess you can call the end of its arms, are looking pretty funky. I do quite like that there. My only sort of little thing I'm a bit off about is this spike, because I feel like a couple of the spikes should be actually like proper steel, or at least have some sort of steel effect to it, because again it just looks like, you know, pure ice. It's like spikes made of ice, like icicles. There's no actual steel to its design apart from the claws, so I feel like there should be something in its design to relate to steel, because right now I'm not really seeing it too much. But that's me. It looks like Alola Sandslash would be pretty good at climbing up cliffs as well, thanks to its, like, you know, the ends of the claws just like very spiked. I don't know, I just quite like it a lot. I don't know. But Sandslash is my number 4. Then number 3 we have another ice type, and that's Alolan Vulpix. I do like it more than Ninetales, just simply because the design is very appealing to me, whereas the Ninetales one, yes, okay, it's pretty much the same as the Vulpix one. Normal Ninetales has a bit extra to it than normal Vulpix does, because normal Vulpix is just red all over, it's a basic Pokemon. Then Ninetales comes along and get that nice yellow fur, yellow, gold and silver fur with the blue ends of the tails, which looks pretty funky, and obviously this shiny form of it is really cool as well. But Alolan Ninetales is very plain, I feel. But Alolan Vulpix fits the bill basically pretty well. It's a pure ice type, as you might expect, so I do quite like the fact it doesn't have the fairy typing as well. The only thing I don't, I'm not fully in love with for Alolan Vulpix are its little hair, its little curly hair The tail's alright, it looks like a bit of broccoli that's just like been made white, but yeah, I can look past that. It is pretty good apart from that. Then moving on to my number 2 Alolan form, we have Marowak. Marowak, I do love that Marowak's getting Alolan form, since it doesn't really have, there's no special thing to the normal Pokemon, you know, it's a very bland normal Pokemon, I don't know, but I do look quite like the sort of the Alolan form for it. A fire ghost type fits in, I suppose. The ghost I'm not sure about, I guess it makes sense, it very much fits in with the lore, because obviously a lot of its natural enemies are grass types, so it becomes a fire type to deal with them. And then I feel, I've heard about on Reddit, I read about this, there was an idea, that we have Beware, obviously in the Alola region, normal fighting type. It likes to hug and, you know, look after Pokemon basically and show its love, even though it's very strong. And Marowak, probably, you know, Cubone, Marowak, probably Pokemon that need a hug, because Cubone's lost its mother, stuff like that. So maybe Beware was hugging a lot of Cubones, and they didn't like it because they get killed by it, basically. So instead, they evolved into a ghost type to deal with the normal fighting type of Beware. I feel like that works pretty well. But apart from that, the design for Alola Marowak just looks amazing, like the fire on the bone. The only thing I can point out is maybe the bone could have been like a bit more burnt, I suppose, on the ends rather than being pure white, but you know, it's fine. And also the design on the front of Marowak's skull as well, you know, I haven't changed the skull too much or at all really, but this design on the front of it does look pretty cool in my opinion, as well as the body change, you know, body colour change, pretty funky as well. But of course we then move on to my favourite Alolan form. Can you guys guess what it is? It's Alolan Raichu. Yes, the reason for this being that actually they gave Raichu some love. Finally, we've been, you know, sort of 7 generations into Pokemon now, and they didn't, you know, or 6 generations in, they hadn't done anything with Raichu. They just slapped it on there, Pikachu's older brother basically, that got neglected because Pikachu was the shining star of the show, and Raichu just sort of sat around and he was like, yep, I'm just going to sit here and, you know, maybe battle Pikachu every now and again in the anime, but Pikachu would probably win because, you know, it's Pikachu. And Pikachu wouldn't evolve into Raichu because, you know, Pikachu's Pikachu, and they can't lose that. So Raichu was just like, you know, the older sibling that was sort of forgotten about, sat in the corner. But now they're finally giving some love to it, especially, you know, the way it's being done as well, with the amazing surfboard of its tail. Again, I'm going to point something I don't like out here. In the game, it does look a lot, you know, in the art as well. The Alolan Raichu looks like he's just sort of hovering with the board behind him. He doesn't actually look like he's still on the board in his Sugimori art or really in game a lot of the time. So it's my only sort of picky thing there. I think they could have made that look a bit better, but I do like the idea of, you know, surfing on its tail, relating to the surfing Pikachu and such, and the psychic typing. You know, it's not water. But Psychic works out pretty well. The only thing, again, pointing out here, that Alolan Raichu, it turned into Alolan Raichu because it ate lots of fluffy pancakes. Haha, that's totally the reason why it happened. Thank you, Game Freak. Good lore there. But that's my only picky thing about it. I do like the design overall as well. I like the fact, you know, just like the fact that Alolan Raichu got some, or Raichu in general got some love, got some reason to actually use a Raichu on your team now. So, you know, it's not the original Raichu, but it has something to it. So that's the reason I'm picking it as my favourite Alolan form. So that's my top 8. That's my top 8 Alolan form, guys. What are your top 8 or your top 5 or your top 10? Oh, wait, you can't do that yet. Alolan forms. Let me know what you think down, or let me know your opinions of the Alolan forms so far down below in the comment section. Obviously, this video is just a bit of fun. There's only 8 Alolan forms. There's no reason to do a top 8. I just thought I'd do it for fun, you know, making whatever, you know, it's just, yeah, I had some free time. Let's do whatever. This is going to be it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and I guess, as I said, let me know your top, you know, few Alolan forms down below in the comment section. But for now, this is it for me for today. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.